Hey everyone, welcome to this new moon Sidereal Astrology forecast for Tuesday, March 24th, 2020. All right, so time of new beginnings with receptive Pisces. If you're expecting me to say Aries just then, be sure to check out that link down below. We're using the actual size of the constellations, which is different from mainstream astrology. All right, so time of new beginnings with our receptive side. Pisces is about developing more acceptance in our life, more receptivity, which ultimately does lead to more wholeness and peace in our life. So great to set intentions with this for this new lunar month. Now with this new moon, it is in a very close conjunction up to Chiron, the healing comet, making it a great time for healing, both physical and spiritual. And also, of course, maybe helping others heal as well could be a really good time for this kind of energy. Other than this, just a sextile up to Saturn, so maybe a little bit of groundedness or responsibility and discipline with this new moon. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when I return. All right, so here's the chart for the new moon. And again, as you can see here, we are using the actual size of the constellations, which is different from all forms of mainstream astrology, including Vedic astrology. So if you do notice some of the signs are different, definitely check out that link down below. It'll describe the system that we're using called True Sidereal Astrology. All right, so new moon on Tuesday and the days surrounding Tuesday is what this video will be for. But great time of setting new intentions now for the new lunar month. And what this lunar month will be helping us develop will be the Piscean side of ourselves, the side that is willing to be receptive, to really accept things for how they are, to be soul guided, right? To listen to our intuition, our inner guidance. And from all this, that soul guidedness can really lead us to greater peace and greater wholeness and spiritual well-being in our life. So any intentions you want to set around developing this watery, accepting, willing to go with the flow, imaginative, intuitive side of ourself is a really good way of working with this new moon. And maybe even doing literal Piscean things for this new lunar cycle, such as spiritual activities, creativity, imagination, right? These kinds of things very much supported at this time. Now, the new moon will be in a very close conjunction up to Chiron, which is the healing comet, which represents the side of ourself that feels wounded, but it's where we have a wound, where because of it, we've become greater healers, right? The story of Chiron is that of the wounded healer that got injured, tried to spend his or her whole life trying to heal that wound, and in that sense became a healer because of the constant healing process and was able to help others heal as well. So it's a great time to set intentions with this side of ourselves, right? How can we maybe do some healing at this time? Maybe in Pisces, maybe dealing with more spiritual healing, right? Maybe this more accepting approach to life can be very healing and therapeutic for us. But Chiron also represents physical healing of all kinds. So really good time to, of course, set intentions with this. And because Chiron is, of course, the healer, it can also be where we can help others heal. So great time for this new cycle to see how we can, really help others, be compassionate, receptive, unconditional with, again, all of this energy in Pisces, which can end up being both therapeutic for ourselves and for others. So this is definitely the most important thing here with this new moon. We do have a sextile up to Saturn, which is a minor aspect, but could be playing a minor role in this new beginning. And so in this case with Saturn, there is this little bit of support for some responsibility and maybe discipline and patience. So great to see the long road with things, especially with Saturn finishing up Sagittarius, seeing the long road with what takes time, with our potentials in life, with our perceptions, really grounding our beliefs, seeing the reality of situations, but at the same time, how can we build towards our inspirations? And again, our sort of spirited side or soul-guided side with Saturn finishing up this very perceptual sign of Sagittarius. So other than that, no other major aspects with the new moon here, other than the conjunction up to Chiron. So fundamentally, I think it is going to be about this development of the Piscean receptive side of ourselves. So as we do approach Tuesday, it is good to kind of finalize and complete the previous cycle. Good to release some things from the previous lunar month, create some space, and then slowly going into the rest of the week, Wednesday onward, see what new arises here from this. And again, how can we develop more of that receptive, accepting, soul-guided, and peace sort of guided side of ourselves. All right, so that's the new moon, but leading up to it on Monday, we will be finishing up this Mars over Pluto. So if there is any energy from Sunday, Monday time that you've been feeling empowered towards, anything that's felt like a new chapter with having more non-attachment to maybe your assertiveness or your directness or independence, there could be a new chapter unfolding with that side of ourself as well. It's a very powerful energy with Mars and Pluto, very intense, but it can be very constructive when we are non-attached, but at the same time, putting energy into things that we feel like would empower us if we did, right? It's an excellent time for transformation, empowerment, cultivating our needs, asserting ourselves in a way that faces fears and transforms us. So there could be a new beginning with that side of ourselves. But again, as we do approach the new moon, it is good to sort of let the energies die down a little bit of the previous cycle, create a bit of space, listen, so we can see what new arises in this very early phase of the lunar month. And for those of you who want to make the calculation for wherever you are in the world, the exact time of the new moon will be at 04:49 Eastern time of the Americas, if you want to make that calculation. But of course, it will be for the surrounding days, generally speaking. Now, one thing I also want to look at with the new moon is the dispositors, the rulers of Pisces here, which is Jupiter traditionally, and before we had discovered Neptune, but also Neptune modernly. So with Jupiter in Sagittarius and all of this energy in Sagittarius, in fact, again, I think it's still very important to really pay attention to our perspectives of life and be aware of what we're believing, what we're seeing as potential, as potentialities, and bringing mindfulness to that. And in this way, it can be maybe a bit inspiring. There could be opportunities, potentials that we're seeing that we can cultivate at this time. Maybe even, get into some of that adventurousness and free-spirited energy as well with Jupiter here. Now, with Neptune finishing Aquarius, Neptune will start to enter into Pisces this year, and we'll kind of bounce around these two constellations of Aquarius and Pisces going into next year. But finishing up with anything about being more receptive about the future in general. Because the dispositor is in Aquarius, Aquarius represents the future, the visions, collective matters, and a lot of this is perhaps uncertain. And so it is really good to practice that receptivity about the future and about these, collective matters, which are definitely getting activated right now at the moment. All right, so that's the new moon in a nutshell. Most important thing is time of new beginnings with that receptive side with Pisces, listening to that intuition, bringing a little more peace into our life, mindfulness, spiritual activities are great at this time, and ultimately just really asking ourselves, how can we bring in a little bit more, peace into our life and wholeness, and have more of that acceptance. And this can be a very healing thing with Chiron. This new cycle could be healing that side of ourselves, but then just in general, if there's anything that you want to maybe face some wounds with or do in the face of some wounds, that might be a bit receptive or spiritual or accepting, that can end up becoming a very rejuvenating, very healing sort of energy to work with. And of course, helping others heal as well is also great with this. And then that minor sextile up to Saturn, suggesting a bit of that slight grounded energy of responsibility and discipline. All right, everyone, so that's the new moon in a nutshell. Hope you all have a fantastic new moon. Now, for those of you who are part of the MTZ Insiders community, there will be an extra, very short mini video for your individual sign in terms of where this new moon will be specifically for you. So if you're already on the website, it'll either be to my left or it'll be down at the bottom, but there'll be an extra video where you can watch for your specific sign. If you're not part of MTZ Insiders, it's totally free to sign up. There's a link down in the comment section of this social media video, and there you'll find a sign up for the newsletter. It's a newsletter free to sign up, and you'll get updated for exclusive content like the one here for these individual signs. All right, but I wish you all a fantastic new moon. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and I'll see you all in the next daily forecast. Take care.